Welcome, everybody, to the Jedi Eternal Star Wars Podcast, episode 27. Here I am today. I am your co-host, Braxton Taylor, here with Andrew, owner of the Hellhounds, Bolin.
Oh, no.
We just like talking about how his dog is in here, and usually Sage is a very good dog, but Sage has been on a ripper one here recently. This dog just ripping into this toy, like chewing it up everywhere. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, the other day our mics one of them fell on the ground."
Yeah.
And I could have swore that dog released the Hellhounds.
Yeah. Life with dogs.
Life
Dogs
with
and
pups.
a kid. It brings many adventures.
They are mutually exclusive, though. They're not.
How have you been?
I'm good. How about you?
I am excellent.
Good.
Yeah.
But we
Good
have a
things are
very
going on.
nice, dry week of Star Wars this week.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy exciting.
Nothing too crazy. Well, we got one crazy thing for you guys, but
But I know that it's it's crazy, but that's about it. That's the only word to describe it.
yeah.
It's a nice rumor for everybody today.
Yeah,
But
but not been super informative this week.
Yeah.
But in other news, all the little kids are going to be crying in their mac and cheese tonight because Epic took down Fortnite off of the Apple Store. So
I did not know about that. Dang. Well, then it kind of gives me a little bit of retribution because of the xCloud thing.
Well, and that's why I was bringing it up because we were talking about xCloud last week.
Yeah.
It's,
Apple's falling apart, man. What's going on over here?
Well, it's kind of for the same kind of issues that they're taking Fortnite off of their store. So Apple's going to have to change eventually to.
Yeah, so you guys know, I'm so incredibly impulsive that I literally went and bought a brand new Galaxy tablet just so I could play xCloud.
That shows how devoted you are, being able to stream video games on your.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, lots of cool stuff on that front. So there might be even some Star Wars stuff coming that way. So you never know.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into our news. Let's go ahead and get into our stuff for today. So first and foremost, we've got two news pieces for you today that kind of go hand in hand. But the very first one, and Andrew's going to have a little bit more details on this than I will.
Some more deets for you.
Some more deets on the story. And is that Diego Luna, who plays Cassian Andor, offers up some new news on the show production of the Cassian Andor show. So, Drew, what does he have to say on this?
Yeah, so he was interviewed with The Guardian, and basically he said shooting is starting around the world, so slowly we are going back, but there is no rush. And he goes on to say some other things, but basically what I gathered from this is that they're starting to talk about doing some more shooting, kind of getting back into things, but they're also being cautious, and not necessarily rushing into it.
Right.
But you do have to wonder what this means for still getting a 2021 release. Do you think this show is going to still make a 2021 release?
If it is, for me, in my mind, it's going to have to be like a November, December type thing. Because they got Mandalorian Season 2 in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So if they started now, as he's kind of indicating that they are, it is possible that we're going to get maybe a November in 2021. I think it might be a bit of a not stretch. It might be difficult for them because they're starting from scratch with this show. Mandalorian, they already have props. They already have things of that nature that they can utilize. This one's going to be just from scratch, so it may not happen in 2021. I wouldn't be surprised if they got pushed back to 2022.
Yeah, I could see it either way. It just depends. Sometimes I still find it hard to believe this show even exists. So
I am the exact.
We've been talking about this show for so long, and we still have yet to see any. We still don't even know the name of the show. We don't have an official title.
Yeah,
I'm so sick of calling it the Cassian Andor show. I'm so sick of calling it that.
Anything would be better at this point.
Anything would be better.
Just give us a little bite. That's all. That's all we want.
But with that being said, we have heard that they have casted another actress that is supposedly going to have a pretty major role. I think the way they said it was she has a lead role opposite Diego Luna in the series, and that is Adria Arjona.
So she was
I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I'm saying it.
Yeah, it looks like that. Anyway, more like Orjona.
Arjona. Adria Arjona.
Yeah. Okay.
That actually might be true.
Yeah, that might be it. I don't know.
Like that, but I don't
know. Yeah, we don't know how to pronounce anything, so.
Everyone knows that by now.
If it doesn't exist in Southern Indiana, then we're done.
If it's not Frank or Bob or Joe, then
Sammy, I don't know. That's stretching it, frankly.
Yeah.
But anyway, Adria, she starred in. She was one of the co-stars in Pacific Rim from 2018.
Yeah.
Which is a great movie. It had some good reviews and things of that nature. It's been such a while since I've seen that movie. I really couldn't speak on her performance just because it's been a while. But I know that she's a decently, a successful actress and stuff. So it is interesting that they chose her for this opposite role. It's very similar to the role like on Mandalorian with the Mandalorian and gosh, I can't remember her name now, but I'm talking about the bounty hunter girl lady. I think I should know her name, but I don't remember. So it's probably going to be something similar to that setup there, where it's kind of like a main male lead role or whatever, and then there's like this kind of like subsequent, lady role opposite of that. So it'll be interesting. I'm sure she's going to do a good job. Now, what she's going to play,
they're probably in love, and then she dies.
Or that
eventually,
that could be the case.
She's not around in Rogue One.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to kind of loop to. Like, I don't know what she's going to do or what the story's going to be like, because like she's not in Rogue One. Yeah, so I mean,
yeah. But I mean, maybe not. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I like how John Hoey put it in his article about it in Star Wars Newsnet. He said, the Cassian Andor Rogue One spinoff series is still untitled and currently set to begin filming early next year. We feel like we have been reporting on this series since we were 6 years old.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So I like that.
That's pretty good. I like that as well. So anyway, pretty cool stuff. I'm just excited that there is some movement going on with this show. I'm glad, because for me, I it's Star Wars. I'm not like super like, oh dude, I can't wait for the show. I'm so excited for it. But at the same time, I mean, it's more Star Wars, and I don't want to see anything get canceled. I'd rather everything come.
Yeah, no, I want it to be released, and once I actually see something of it, I might get excited.
Exactly.
It's just we have yet to see.
It's been so much time and no details. Yeah,
exactly,
precisely. So anyway, like I said, cool to see some movement on that. So our next news story for the day is Clone Wars Stories of Light and Dark audiobook has revealed its cast for this audiobook. So Drew, I think you got some more on that.
Yeah, so we have actually a lot of the people from the Clone Wars series is coming to read their stories.
Nice.
So I've actually been reading the Clone Wars Stories of Light and Dark because we are going to have a review of that next episode. And so I'm already about halfway through it, and what I have learned is each story is about a character, of course. They focus on a certain character for each story, and they're told from their perspective. So I think it actually would be a very interesting audiobook for that reason, because you would get in the heads of each character, and these actors have been acting as these characters for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like a audio, almost like an audio drama of Clone Wars.
Right. But you get to see more of that, like what they're thinking and stuff. And so
yeah, that's really cool.
And so like James Arnold Taylor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, that would be great. I think that'd be really cool to hear that. You got Matt Lanter doing his Anakin Skywalker story. You got. This actually said, who is the actor for? I should probably know this, but who does the voices of the clones in Clone Wars?
G. Bradley Baker or something like that.
Is that who it is?
Yes.
Interestingly,
G. Bradley Baker.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Interestingly enough, he's not reading the story that Rex has in this book. It's actually James Arnold Taylor.
So really?
That's
that
interesting.
Is bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah, so because I saw that and I was like, he doesn't voice the clones.
No, yeah.
So that's interesting.
So I mean, wonder what kind of like weird scheduling conflict or whatever it was.
Yeah. So there's actually 3 of these read by James Arnold Taylor. Now that I'm looking at it,
but he's a very talented voice actor. I have no doubt that he could pull it off.
Well, and that's the thing. He's probably
probably dubbed in on some of the clones in the past anyway.
I'm sure. So, and then you got Sam Witwer even doing his Darth Maul one, and so that's a
pretty big deal.
That's a big catch.
Yeah,
there, so
absolutely.
Anyways, I think I'm not much for audiobooks. And I'm not going to give a review right now. Of course, you got to wait till next week for that. But I will say that this audiobook version may be the best version.
Yeah.
This very well may be the best way to experience these stories.
Yeah, I haven't read as much as you, but what I have read, it's kind of like, and like I said, we'll get into like the review next week, whatever. But I would say it's more just like, it's kind of light stories, or it's more like it's non-consequential type stuff. Like,
right.
It would be a lot cooler if you were hearing the voices and like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think,
it would definitely add to it, having
absolutely.
having the characters we know and love and are used to hearing tell these stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of interesting. That will be coming August 25th. I think it releases the same day as the actual book releases. So be on the lookout for that. I think it might be very interesting. It may even convince me to pick up an audiobook. I doubt it, though.
Yeah.
I highly doubt it.
Come on. Don't you like Star Wars?
Hey, is that Dr. Aphra audiobook any good? Can someone tell me? Because I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah, I said I was going to pick it up. I never did.
I don't want to listen to it, but I really want to know how good it is. I'm waiting for Del Rey to drop a novelization version of it, which they will eventually.
They will. Well, especially if there's, and then this is getting off track here a little bit, but if they end up doing a Dr. Aphra series, they're definitely going to be dropping the book, or the audio, what do you call it? Audio to text or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a script almost, like because the Dooku Jedi Lost.
I was gonna say they did it for Dooku
it literally looks like a play script as you read it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's pretty cool though. All right, you want to lead us on for our next one? Here?
Okay. Yes. All right, folks. Strap in.
Wait. We got one more news story, right?
What news story?
The holiday special.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
God, I'm sorry. I thought
you just ruined it.
Sorry. I thought you
just completely ruined my presentation.
You were going on so hard on the rumor. I thought you was pumping up for that one.
No, I was pumping up for the holiday special. Jeez.
Rip the Band-Aid off. Sorry.
No. Okay, so what I was going to say is you've been waiting for the next story of Rey. You've been waiting for the future of what happens after Rise of Skywalker. We've said since Rise of Skywalker came out, we wouldn't see the next story in years. We wouldn't see the continuation in a long time, but you've heard it here first, folks. Rey's story is coming back already this November in the new Lego Holiday Special.
That's how much they love this character. Putting your next big step up in the Lego.
The next big story
special.
from the sequel trilogy is in the Holiday Special.
Oh, that's pretty funny. So, I got a little. You're probably wondering what the context of this. So I'm going to read a little bit.
Read us some details.
Yeah, some deets. So Disney Plus is planning to pay homage to the infamous Star Wars Holiday Special, which premiered on CBS November 17th, 1978. Now, if you haven't watched that, it is an experience. It truly...
That's one way to put it.
It is truly an experience. I would highly recommend that you go watch this. I think it's on YouTube, if I'm not mistaken. You could probably watch it somewhere. Just type in 1978 Star Wars.
That event was closed.
Oh, by the way, it's actually burning up in his room.
We're about
right
to
now.
Die right now. It's so hot. And the vent was closed. I guarantee you my wife closed it.
Oh, my God.
She closed it and didn't put it back.
She's trying to kill us, people.
I was getting really sweaty.
You know, and we're calling somebody. We're calling the cops or something. This is what was this called? Like spousal abuse. I know this is what this is. Anyway, so if you guys should watch it, you really should.
Everyone should watch it
at least once. I mean, if I'm just saying, if Lumpy is not in this. If Lumpy's not in this new holiday special, I'm turning it off instantly. So anyway, it was so they're paying homage to this by releasing a new version exactly 42 years later, so November 17th, featuring some of our favorite characters in Lego form. USA Today is reporting that this new project called Lego Star Wars Holiday Special will reunite beloved characters like Rey, Poe, and Finn to celebrate Life Day, a holiday introduced back in the original holiday special It will be 45 minutes long. And there's plenty of other things I could read about this, but one interesting I thought they said they wanted to give a wink and a nod to the original, and it was also inspired by beloved holiday movies like It's a Wonderful Life and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So I think that's kind of interesting. It's a Star Wars Lego, but it's going to pay homage to Christmas classics like It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Rey's going to die and come back as Force Ghost.
Did you read? So I have some more details on that I'd like to read if you don't have.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So they were saying that this is going to catch you up with the cast after the events of last year's Rise of Skywalker. Rey and droid pal BB-8 head off on a quest to gain a deeper knowledge of the Force. But their visit to a mysterious Jedi temple sends them careening through time and space.
So I was right. I was literally, I didn't even read that. And
Rey interacts with Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, and other characters in some of the franchise's most beloved moments as they try to return in time for a life-day feast with their friends on Chewbacca's Wookiee homeworld of Kashyyyk.
Oh, well, hey, I'm glad it would be on with Chewbacca.
It is
on
a
Kashyyyk,
celebration of the saga. A lot of characters will be interacting with different characters and perhaps even different versions of themselves at different ages.
Okay. I don't know. This is very odd.
There's some more here I want to read.
Oh, okay.
Lego versions of Emperor Palpatine, Vader, and Kylo Ren get to hang out together.
This will be legendary.
It's really hilarious what's going to happen with those guys, Rhymes says. But the heart and soul of the special is Rey's relationship with Luke. Not the old Jedi Master she knew, but instead the rookie rebel version from George Lucas's original 1977 Star Wars movie. It becomes a much different take on a teacher and apprentice with the more seasoned Rey and a younger Luke.
So, I mean, surely this isn't...
I was going to say, surely this isn't canon, right?
That's exactly what I was saying. Surely this isn't canon. But, like, it kind of scares me because the way they're talking is like, it's going to catch you up. But that happens right after Rise of Skywalker. I'm like, bro, hold on here, dude. Hold on here.
Well, and you have to think, Star Wars... Disney's not really released Star Wars content that's not canon. They don't really do that anymore. So this is one of those things where I'm like, are they going to make this canon?
This is so bizarre that, I mean, this is really happening. You know, I mean, and that's fine. It's a Star Wars Lego movie. I mean, for Pete's sake. But I mean, granted, other Lego movies that they've released in the past, I don't believe has been canon because they have other ones that are out there.
Well, yeah. So there were other ones, but a lot of those were before. I think they were before Disney. Well, they've released some, but I think some of that stuff's been considered canon.
Really?
Not maybe all of it.
This is scary.
And that's the thing. It's kind of hard. I honestly think... So I know there's other Star Wars Lego movies and stuff. I've never really paid much attention to them. I like the Lego games, but I've never really...
Right, yeah.
Because they're geared towards younger kids, and so I've not really taken my time with it. I do think this is actually going to be more for everyone. I don't think this is going to be just for kids. I think they're wanting this to be something everyone's going to watch.
I would hope so.
And so, and I have to say, I'm actually kind of excited for this. Like, I'm making fun of it and stuff. We're laughing.
Oh, I am too. Don't get me wrong.
We're laughing about it, laughing at how ridiculous some of it sounds. But I actually am kind of looking forward to this.
It's going to be fun. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. And you know, we're getting Obi-Wan Kenobi and Rey, which we always wanted. It's unfortunate it has to be in this Lego movie after
holiday special.
But I think what cracks me up most about all this is we've been talking, and everyone's been talking about, like, what will be the next story.
And it's a Lego holiday special.
But
that's funny.
Yeah, and so funny. I don't know if you saw the picture. They showed a picture.
I've seen a couple.
And so it looks like they're on Tatooine, and it's got like some stormtroopers. You got a Sith trooper.
Yeah.
You have stormtroopers from the sequel trilogy and the original trilogy.
And then
you got Greedo. You got it looks like maybe Anakin over there, which he's on the bad side, but I'm pretty sure it's Anakin.
Oh, maybe I'm looking at a different one.
And then you have Darth Maul cut in half.
Okay, I'm looking at the wrong one.
He's standing there with only half of his torso.
Yeah, I am looking at the right one. Yeah.
I love that. That's just so good.
And then in the very front, you got Mace Windu.
Yeah, and then you got Mace Windu. You have Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think it's Luke next to him.
Yeah.
Han Solo. It looks like you got little Anakin over there.
Oh, that's Qui-Gon.
What?
Qui-Gon's right to the right of him.
Of who?
of Mace Windu.
Is that Qui-Gon?
Yeah,
I don't think so, dude.
I'm pretty
I think Qui-Gon's beard would be longer than that.
Obi-Wan's behind. Well, it means Lego. You're not gonna be able to extend a beard off of him, or they don't anyway.
Well, look up a Qui-Gon. Look up Qui-Gon from Lego. I'm pretty sure he's got like longer hair or something.
Maybe. I mean, his hair's blocked by the lightsaber though. So
I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Obi-Wan. But then you have. I'm pretty sure
Obi-Wan's
it's
behind him.
I know. I'm pretty sure they're both Obi-Wan. I'm pretty sure the one in the back is Obi-Wan from Episode 3. And the one in the front is Obi-Wan from Episode 2.
Let's see. So this is him, and I mean the hair. I mean, sure, but you can't really see the hair. The hair is blocked by the lightsaber.
I'll give you that. You can't see the hair, but if let's base it off of costumes, I think that's going for. I don't know. We'll have to do some more research on that.
I don't know why we're getting so in depth on this. Deep diving into Qui-Gon's and Lego.
Well, because the outfit is exactly the same, other than there's a white. He's got a white undershirt on in the front, and then in the back he's got a dark one, and his suit's kind of like tattered.
I mean, it might be. Very well, it might be. I don't know.
But yeah, so. Anyways, no matter what, that's just going to be interesting to see all those characters together, and
it's gonna be. I do love the Darth Maul being cut in half, just standing there.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good. So, yeah, that's something to look forward to, I guess, in November. And what was the release date on that? Did we say
November 17th?
November 17th. Yeah. So
I think I'm back off the mic. I don't think I'm relying.
Yeah, so definitely, guys, we will make sure to be talking all about the holiday special when it comes out, November 17th. We will give, I'm sure, a full review, and I'm sure we'll discuss everything about it when that does come out. So
we can do like a live watch.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a special for it.
Honestly, there's. I mean, it's on Disney Plus. I mean, we could do a live watch if we wanted to.
Yeah, so
anyway,
we will.
If you guys wanted to watch that with us,
all watch it together.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. We should do
fun.
that. So yeah,
ideas.
I guess we'll move on from that now.
Where do we go from here? Honestly, let's just end up. So let's go into our rumors now. Honestly, I kind of cut your legs out from under you on that one, so I'll let you have the big one, rumor. I'll let you have that one, and I won't interrupt you last time. So I'll go ahead and I will say the second one, and that is developers for EA Visceral's canceled Star Wars game said it very well could have been Game of the Year contender. So it was definitely Game of the Year material, and it would have been very much like Uncharted, like a Star Wars Uncharted game.
Yeah.
So I saw some screenshots of it. I don't know if it's a screenshot or drawing. It's a good drawing if it's not a screenshot. But yeah, there's like these tattered like pillars with like old Empire flags, and they're like jumping between the pillars and stuff. Definitely got that Uncharted like traversing feel. So honestly, I knew about this, but I didn't really know much about it, especially when Visceral went under. You know, I just didn't think anything about it. So what are your thoughts on this, and do you have any more views on this?
You know, Amy Hennig was the director for this, which she was the one who did a lot of the earlier Uncharted games. So she, of course, that's her style. So it doesn't surprise me at all that this was going to be Star Wars Uncharted. And when we say that, you know, we're talking about like that style of gameplay,
right?
And which fits Star Wars. I think you could
so
easily have that.
Well, after Fallen Order, that
yeah,
very much has that same feel.
Yeah, it has a similar feel. But what I think we would have gotten with this, and of course, this is all just speculation. We don't really know a whole lot about what this game would have eventually have been. But I think we would have gotten something very, very cinematic.
Yeah,
and don't get me wrong, the Fallen Order has cinematics, and it can be very cinematic as well. But a lot of it, is like in between, right? Like once you get into you go fly on your ship, you land somewhere, and once you get out there, it turns very gamey sometimes. I don't really know how else to put it.
Interesting. I've never heard of it described as a game as gamey, but okay.
Well, I mean, like with like, for example, with Uncharted, they really try to like drive home the cinematics like the entire time through, and like you have these big I don't know if you've ever played them, but like when you're like climbing through the airplane and different things, and it's falling, and you're like trying to shuffle through and stuff.
Like
but the
have,
entire
like,
time, it's like
elements where you move the toggle switch.
You have control, but it honestly, if someone's watching, they probably would think that you weren't controlling.
Right. Yeah.
And
exactly.
And so I think that's kind of the same stuff we were going to get with this. And they even said that like there was a crazy ATST moment, and that you were on foot running from it, and it was trying to hunt you down, but you were more agile, slipping through alleyways, barreling through, and crashing, and using all the destruction of Frostbite, which was the game engine.
Man, that'd be fun. That'd actually be so fun.
And it's things like that where it probably would have been a lot like Uncharted. It'd probably been like a camera facing the character, and you see it like behind you, and you're like running through, you know. And
this looks like I'm looking at some of the screenshots. Or whatever. It looks like Tatooine.
So they did show us some screenshots a long time ago, a couple. It was just like kind of like showing just some.
It's like early in-game footage, just what it says on here. But yeah, it's just like it's literally a screenshot of the character from its back, and it has like a probe droid next to it. Looks like maybe, and then like a Empire taking over a beaten down Tatooine city, whatever. Like I don't think it's Mos Eisley or anything, but whatever it may be.
Yeah, and then so I think it is a shame that it didn't end up happening. I think it would have been cool to see. You know, from what I hear, they decided that it wasn't for, or the game wasn't what EA wanted it to be. EA decided single player games were kind of a thing of the past.
Boo.
And they wanted them to do more multiplayer style stuff. And then of course they got a bunch of backlash from their games, and then they ended up letting Respawn make Fallen Order.
Right. So we're gonna do the exact opposite of what we said.
Yeah. And then they had great success, and so I'm sure they've had a change of heart. What I do want to mention with this, while we're talking about that, you know, we've talked about EA. You know, they're going to have to, Disney and EA are going to have to kind of renew their contract to continue to have exclusive Star Wars games, right?
Sure, yeah.
And you have to wonder. I know we've talked before. Like, will EA get to keep it? Will they not? You know, now that they've had some success, will that will that allow them to keep it? I think personally, Disney will decide to move on from them still. Mm-hmm. I think that what they're going to do, this is what I think would be the best scenario, is they no longer make it restricted to EA. So let other developers work on Star Wars games.
And why not?
That aren't under the EA umbrella.
Yeah, why not? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're going to get a better gaming experience that way. You know what I'm saying?
But continue to let EA and Respawn, you know, and the Battlefront developers, which I can't remember what they're called right now.
I don't know.
But let them. DICE, right? Yeah,
I think so.
Or
DICE.
DICE. Yeah. Let them continue their games. Let them make another Battlefront. Let them make a Fallen Order sequel. You know, that stuff. Mm-hmm. But they'll no longer have all the exclusive. Exclusivity, I guess you would say. They would no longer have that. Yeah. And so that way we could see some other people start to, and maybe, I still think they need to make a KOTOR 3, so maybe someone will make that.
Yeah. You would say that.
I think it needs to happen. I do. I stand by that. Or a remake or something. We need something. Come on, somebody do it already.
I agree.
I mean, BioWare's not going to do it, so BioWare has the Old Republic, but it doesn't even come close. So
precisely. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that there's a great potential in Star Wars video games. I just think that some of the big heads needs to realize that too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that first of all, with the popularity of Fallen Order, and then all of a sudden, like the insurgence of VR gaming, as we see through Vader Immortal, and then now what is like Tales of, or not Tales, I don't remember what it was. Anyway, the new one of Batu, you know, in the Outer Rim and stuff like that, that's coming soon. You know, I would, if those are successful as well, I would not be surprised that we're going to start seeing some more video game stuff. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, executives always want to make money. Like, okay, whatever's making money, let's do it. You know,
Right. Well, and I'm sure there's a lot of developers out there that want to make a Star Wars game.
Oh, yeah.
They're just not. They literally
They can't.
can't
They
because
literally
they
can't,
don't.
yeah.
They don't have access to the license.
Look at the Disney infamous Disney.
And that's why
banhammer.
I say that Disney will be better off not renewing that contract.
I mean,
But
yeah,
only
I
time will
agree.
tell.
I agree.
All right, so let's move into
Move on to your big
to
big
the next big special rumor we got here. This is a good one. All right, strap in, buckle up, folks. This just in. Yeah, there we go. This just in. George Lucas reportedly blames Kathleen Kennedy for ruining Star Wars sequel trilogy and now has a Lucas cut of The Rise of Skywalker coming soon to Disney Plus.
But wait, there's more. Darling Kathleen Kennedy is keeping it from the public because she's a vengeful old woman that hates Star Wars. People.
Yeah, so-
This is not happening. This is not true. This is not real.
Listen, we bring the rumors to you, okay? So
Yeah.
if there are rumors out there, we're going to talk about them. And this is a rumor.
Yeah.
And we got this covered.com. They're always a gem.
They always got some good stuff on there.
And they're reporting this very seriously. They said that let me see, where is that here?
That's all, folks.
Well, I don't see what I wanted to say here about it, but basically, George Lucas has assembled his own edit of
Like behind everyone's back. Spent millions of dollars.
he's assembled his own edit of The Rise of Skywalker that's vastly superior to the cut that hit theaters. And but Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy is actively withholding it from the public.
I love it. So let's preface this is what we're saying. I wasn't the biggest fan of sequels, right? And I love George Lucas. So, I mean,
Yeah.
in a sense, would this be cool if this happened to some degree? Sure. But, like, it's just funny to us because, like, that's the reoccurring, like, oh, Kathleen Kennedy bad, George Lucas good, and Kathleen Kennedy guaranteed is, holding this back from us, And it's one of those things, like, this rumor is so audacious. It's like, this just in, Andrew was going to give me $50, and he said I was an idiot, and he took $50 from me. This is real. It's like, what? Like, where's this coming from? It's like,
Well, and so it goes on to say Kathleen
that's
Kennedy
true, though, so.
changed. I was like, that's a true story.
That
What are
is
you talking
true,
about? No. Okay, so Kathleen Kennedy changed and deleted dozens of scenes during the first and second phases of reshoots and rewrites. It is described that Bob Chapek, the new Disney CEO, is pushing for the JJ and Lucas cut to arrive on Disney Plus sometime in 2023. That will include these dozens of scenes. And then in one of the cuts of the movie, Kylo Ren will be visited by Anakin's Force Ghost in the depths of the second Death Star. This is where Anakin was going to tell him the truth about Palpatine and the dark side of the Force, as well as the secrets of Darth Vader. Ren would be given a moment of clarity and turn to the light side of the Force and become Ben Solo once again.
Snyder cut. Lucas cut. Lucas cut. I mean, it's just like, seriously, basically it's like everyone's cherry picking all of the best ideas that they came up with and like, I heard this was real. This is actually coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think this is happening at all.
I don't either. I don't think so.
Just like, I don't think that there's an evil Yoda clone coming back either.
Yeah,
I think we're getting some really out there stuff right now. People are the well has ran dry, and people are desperate for.
Yeah, they're just trying to pull something to have the next big headline, and it's just like stuff that's so obviously not real.
Yeah, I mean, hey, and if this happens, we will come on here and say that we were wrong.
Yeah. Well, maybe
we might pretend like it never. We'll delete this episode and move on.
The episode will be gone. No, honestly, I would be dead level surprised if this ever even somewhat happened. Like, I would just be so surprised. I mean,
oh yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's all I can say about it. Like, I would just be very, very surprised.
Yeah, so that's all I had to say about that.
Yeah, so let's just move on.
Let's jump into our releases. For releases, we have Star Wars Bounty Hunters issue number 4 coming on next Wednesday, the 19th. Braxton, did you happen to read Star Wars Darth Vader issue from yesterday? Or, well, sorry, you guys are reading that. That would have been confusing. Or if you're listening on a Saturday, on Wednesday, did you?
I'm going to say yes, but I completely forgot what happened.
So no, you did
okay,
not.
I'm going to be honest. This week was crazy for me. I did not have a chance to read it. No.
It's no excuse. But,
okay.
Listen, guys. In all seriousness, this is the best Star Wars content that we have right now. Like,
that's bold.
It's not even bold. It's I can say it. I can say it assuredly to all of you, Star Wars fans out there. If you like Darth Vader, if you like the original trilogy and you like the prequels, you should be reading this.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome stuff. And
what issue is this right now?
This would have been 4, I think.
Yeah, because I read 1 and 2. So what my plan was, like, I since I missed 3, and then I guess now 4, I was gonna like just wait and until this arc was over, and then go reread them all.
And once this arc is over, like we said, we're gonna go all out on it. We'll make it our main topic that week. Whenever the arc is finished, we'll go over all the spoilers, everything. And again, I don't want to go into spoiler territory here for those of you who have not got to read the issue yet. But man, it's just really good stuff.
Yeah.
And some of the things that are happening in it really could have some big implications for the character of Darth Vader, especially. And so I highly encourage you guys to go and read these, even if you're not comic readers. This is really, really good stuff. And it's just, I think it's progressing Star Wars in good ways. Like, that's what I love, a Star Wars story that like truly matters and brings extra information and meaning to other Star Wars content.
Right.
And this does that without a doubt. And
that's good. Yeah. I mean, because there is a lot of, like, I think I keep using this word, like, at least once every episode we've done the past 5 episodes, but like non-consequential. Yeah. There's been a lot of stuff that's coming out that's just like, whatever. Yes. It's cool to have, but whatever. Right. But so it's nice to know that there is stuff coming out that is actually adding to the lore.
Yeah. And this and the mainline Star Wars comic, that's your best bet right now. The comics. I don't know why the comics are getting the good stuff. I don't know why we can't seem to get some really good, deep lore stuff in books, but that just doesn't seem to be happening for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But man, the comics are hitting it out of the park. And again, like even if you don't like comics, I would encourage you guys to pick this up. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. Yeah, and I plan on reading it. I'm just figuring, like, since I'm like 2 issues or 3 issues behind, like, I'm just gonna wait till the end of the arc.
Yeah.
And go get them all at once. But yeah, so a lot of really cool stuff. So is there anywhere else, anything else on reviews coming out?
No, that's it. Just the Bounty Hunters issue. I'm not a big fan of the Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot.
It's fine, but it's not anything. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to anyone, like as a must buy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the only thing we got this week. So.
All right. Well, without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into our Q&A segment, where every week we make a Facebook post and now Instagram post asking you all to ask us questions, bring up topics, and more. As you know, we already try to do 3 questions, topics, and suggestions a week. If there are ever more, they'll be put into a queue, which will be answered first time next week. So, with that being said, this week's first question comes from Kristen Perry, who says, would you guys either choose to be Jedi or Sith? It's like, now, I will go ahead and say, I direct you to the podcast name, Sith Eternal. Just kidding. No, I mean, truthfully, I would definitely choose Jedi. I've said it many times, I'll say it again. I would definitely choose to be Jedi. Now, I think that there's times I thought it would be kind of fun to be a Sith, in certain instances, but overall, I'd always choose to be Jedi. I mean, that's the long short of it for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Jedi all the way. I always say, like, even in some of the video games where you can like choose to light side or dark side. Mm-hmm. I always do light side first, but then I'd be like, oh, now I'm gonna do a dark side, and then I still end up doing the light side stuff.
Well, I know for me, and it's funny you bring that up. I know for me, one of the first times I thought it was so cool to be a Jedi. because I am an inherently evil person. So I I was kidding. No, one time I thought it would be really fun to be Jedi was when I was playing KOTOR, and when we went to Dantooine for the first time.
Yeah.
And you go and you train to be a Jedi in Dantooine, and you have to memorize the Jedi code. And it's like,
I love that stuff so much.
Dude, it was just. I remember at that point thinking like, dude, I want to be a Jedi so bad.
Right.
I want to be a Jedi so bad. So it is, so I said it's funny you say that because it is times like that when I played, KOTOR for the first time, that it was moments like that. I'm like, man, I want to be a Jedi. I love Jedi. So I think that's kind of what instilled that love for me.
Yeah, and I love stories about the Sith, and some of my favorite stories actually usually involve like dealing with Sith, ancient Sith, that kind of stuff. It's always really cool. But as far as like me specifically, if I'm going to be a character, it's going to be a Jedi.
Yeah,
no questions asked. So.
Yeah. So that's the end all be all to that question. We'll always be Jedi. So
eternally,
eternally Jedi. I wonder where we heard that before. Anyway, so the second question comes from Greg Stewart, who says, if you could pick your own unique lightsaber crystal color, what would it be? Mine would be hot pink. So, Greg, that's a very interesting choice. Hey, that's all up to you, buddy.
That's a very interesting choice, Greg.
And I don't know. I mean, I have lots of interesting colors like burnt cyan or glazed ginger. I'm going to choose blue. Honestly, though,
I'm gonna choose Arctic Freeze,
Arctic Slush,
which is I think a Gatorade flavor. It's like a blue.
It's a very beautiful blue color, Arctic Freeze or Arctic Brush or whatever it's called. Old Spice Pure Sport.
I'm gonna go with Frostbite Mountain Dew, which is also blue.
Oh my heart! I'm gonna go with blue Raz. No, I think we talked about this before, but honestly, I love, and especially if you stick to what this is not necessarily canonical anymore, but if you stick to what the colors of mean, I'd say that blue or green is definitely. I know it's like the most basic, but blue or green, it has to be what I'm gonna go for. Is specifically blue. I love the Jedi Guardian thing. It's just classic. I love it.
Yeah, man. Any game that's ever given me options on my lightsaber color, I still just do blue. And I know, when Fallen Order came out, everybody was talking about, oh, it's so cool. It's got like these new colors, right, and stuff that you've never seen before. And I'm like, I still just use blue the whole time.
No, I actually have kind of been a fan of yellow. Now, I actually do not like the color yellow just in general, but for whatever reason, always when I associate them with being like Sentinels and stuff like that, and a lot of the more powerful, wielders have used, let me phrase that. A lot of the yellow lightsaber wielders have been very powerful. I always like that. I always
immediately think of Bastila.
From precisely. Yeah, Bastila is one of the first times I think it's one of the first times we see it.
Probably one of the most popular,
or at least most prominent.
Most prominent character to ever use a yellow lightsaber, I would say. Yeah.
So anyway, definitely would probably just choose blue, but there is a few of them I think is pretty cool. But
and I love the dark saber, which it's kind of its own like. Well, actually, did we see another? We saw another black one like that in the High Republic.
Image, also
right?
Technically, we didn't see it in the movie, but we know that Snoke's lightsaber is black.
What?
Yeah. I mean, okay. How we know that is because, first of all, I think it's in the visual dictionary, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong on that. You have it, I don't. But if you go to, forgive me, Galaxy's Edge at Disney, and are you
making stuff up?
I'm not making stuff up. If you go to,
Hold on, I'm doing some research.
Yeah.
You go ahead, talk about it.
I'm trying to tell you what it is. Basically, you know how you can build your own lightsaber, and you can choose your kyber crystal, and one of the rarest ones is Snoke's, and it's black. So you can look it up, but it's true. Now, whether that's coincidental or that's actually canonical, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that they said that was canon. So let me know if I'm right or wrong there, researcher.
I think you're very wrong.
Hey, not cool.
I'm under the impression Snoke never had a lightsaber, at least that we know of. And he just used the Force.
All I'm saying is that whether that be the case or not, you can get a Snoke kyber crystal at
Okay, well,
Galaxy's
maybe.
Edge.
Are you sure they're not referring to the ring that he wore on his
know.
hand? That was a kyber crystal.
It might be. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Or no, it wasn't a kyber crystal. That was a ring that was made from Vader's castle. So I don't know that it was kyber.
Well, folks, if you guys know.
Well, no, I know he didn't have a lightsaber. I don't know what kind of weird theories you've been.
No, I'm
looking
saying
at.
if you guys know what the whole black kyber crystal at
Well,
Galaxy's
let's look that up. Did
I'm
you
trying.
Look it up?
I'm trying to. But you're getting me all flustered.
You're feeding false information
No,
to
I'm
our
not.
listeners.
I know for a fact that that's there. Whether that's canonical, his lightsaber, whatever, that is there. I know that for a fact. I watched many YouTube videos.
YouTube videos. What we do know, and I think maybe what you're thinking of, is Snoke's ring on his hand.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'm just saying that if that is the case, they're insinuating that is a black kyber crystal. I'm saying whether he actually
it's
owned a
obsidian made from Vader's castle, is what's on his hand.
Why won't this load?
I think some people assumed it was a black kyber crystal before we got that information, but the Visual Dictionary talked about.
So this was from Galaxy's Edge. Comes in this canister. Literally says kyber crystal.
That says custom.
Oh, it does. Oh, yeah, it says
Yes, it
kyber
does.
crystal, and it comes out black. It's a black kyber crystal. You choose from these cylinders.
Yeah, but the title says custom.
I don't know. I've watched
Listen,
people get
folks.
it, dude. I'm just saying.
My take on this is that he may have had a lightsaber, and maybe it was even black, but I do not believe we have a canon answer for that.
Okay.
But what I do know is he did have that ring, and I do also know that some people assumed that was a black kyber crystal on his hand before we found out in the Visual Dictionary that he indeed had obsidian on that ring, which was made from Vader's castle.
Yeah. I mean, so that very well may be the case. I know for a fact that they have something there that's like a super rare black kyber crystal. And many people have said that was Snoke. So, I mean, that might be my misinformation in terms of whose it is. But yeah.
Oh, wait, I found... here, let's read this.
Here's another post. This one is not custom. Finally, a black kyber crystal.
Yes, there is a black kyber crystal. I just don't... let's see. Today you have found something truly special. This small fragment of obsidian is infused with the power of the dark side. When placed inside a lightsaber or holocron, this rare fragment with unnatural powers mined from a dark side shrine will have similar properties as a red kyber crystal. So, that's what the message is when you get it.
Oh, okay.
So that being said,
so it's like
so it's not actually
not
a
technically
kyber
a kyber crystal, yeah.
but it works like a kyber crystal, which is interesting because that does sound like what it sounds like the same thing that Snoke had on his ring.
Yeah.
Right?
But
again, we don't have any facts that Snoke ever had a lightsaber, but it does sound like that's probably the same thing.
Interesting. Yeah, so that's bizarre.
And I do wonder if that's also how like the Darksaber is made, is with obsidian instead of a kyber crystal.
Yeah, that's actually another good point, and we have to probably look it up on another
Yeah.
time. But anyway, so this is a big runaround. I want a blue lightsaber. We spent way too long on that question. Well, it wasn't even on the question.
Listen, the listeners have to know the truth, okay?
We have to get to the bottom of this. Okay, so our last and final question comes from Willie Powers. So Willie,
Hey Willie, how you doing?
Hey Willie, how's it going? Hey, so I'm gonna be straight up right off the bat. I may be misinterpreting your question completely, or if this is a joke. I don't know. But I'm gonna read it how I hear it, and we'll go from there. Okay. So Willie Powers says, Palpatine said to Yoda in, I believe, Episode 3, the Darth Vader is more powerful than Palpatine and Yoda combined, and he's more powerful than Anakin Skywalker. Other than just a glimpse of a burnt helmet and face mask, and a few other things, why haven't we physically seen him yet? So the way I'm reading this is that you're saying that why haven't we seen Darth Vader yet? And we have. So I'll be honest with you, I'm not quite sure what you're asking right now.
So yeah, I'm a little confused as well. And so I wonder maybe if he's talking about why we didn't see him in the sequel trilogy, like why if he was so powerful did he not come back?
Perhaps, yeah.
Maybe
I don't
that's
know.
what he's talking about. I'm sorry, Willie, that we're not real sure on your question.
Yeah, maybe you can like leave a comment or send a message.
Yeah,
and
if
kind
you
of clarify.
want,
And
you
we
can
can touch on it next
Yeah,
week.
we could touch on it next week if you
Yeah.
want to add some extra clarity there for us. But we'll talk about what we think about as far as that goes. I think that's most likely what he's maybe meaning is just like
Why was he in the sequel trilogy?
Why didn't if he was so powerful? How did Palpatine come? But Darth Vader couldn't come back.
I think, and now that you say that, I think that is maybe that's
and
anyway.
My answer to that would be is that Darth Vader comes back to the light, so it's Anakin, and Anakin he passes in the Force and goes on to be just the same as Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and all of that.
Yeah.
And so that's considered to be even more so powerful than like what Palpatine did. Palpatine came back, but he was in a body that was constantly decaying. Yeah, he couldn't really do much. And where Obi-Wan and Yoda and all of them are ghosts, but kind of still can interact physically and were ever present in the Force through all time and space. So
and I have like 2 or 3 things I want to say to this if this is what you're asking. Comparing Anakin / Vader, however you want to look at him, to Palpatine, especially in the sequel trilogy time era, what motive does he have to come back? You know what I'm saying? What motive? Because obviously Palpatine has a great motive. He wants to take over the universe, right? The galaxy, and therefore Palpatine is going to come back because he's afraid of dying. He knows that he's not going to become part of the living Force. He knows he's et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So he has a good reason to come back. Anakin, on the other hand, doesn't really have a good reason to come back. Now, so I have a second counterpoint to that. So you would say maybe, okay, but why does Luke come back? Why does Yoda come back and Anakin doesn't? It's not that he doesn't have the incapability to do so, right? It's more so again that he might feel ashamed. I mean, he turned to the dark for so long and killed so many people and did horrible atrocities. Maybe he doesn't feel like he's worthy enough to come back and give people advice like Yoda does and like Luke does and guide them. Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? We can't really answer that because that's not canon. But the last but not least, I just think it boils down to writing. I just don't think he came to the sequel trilogy because it just didn't fit into those specific writers' plans at the time. And as sucky as it is, I think he should have been in there. That's just my personal opinion. It just wasn't written in that way. So in terms of power, I think Vader definitely, or Anakin, whatever, definitely could have come back as a Force projection, Force ghost, whatever, if he wanted to. I just don't think he either had the motive or it just wasn't written in.
So. Yeah, I think the thing to also note here is the conversation between Yoda and the Emperor. I believe the Emperor says that Anakin will become more powerful than you, or more powerful than either. Or wait, how does he word it? I don't think he says together. I think it's like saying he'll become more powerful than me. He'll become more powerful than you individually. And so that being said, as when it comes to the powerful thing, I would say Yoda and Emperor combined together could kick Anakin's butt if they wanted to.
Right. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Because and this is something we're going to talk about.
We're going to talk
a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But raw power doesn't inherently mean better at fighting or whatever.
Yeah, we'll get into that soon. But
yeah. I'm trying to find the exact quote. Let's see here. Your Wi-Fi does not like my computer. I think I can't find the exact quote, but I think he says something more like he would surpass us. And that's a very vague statement. Not necessarily become more powerful, but he would surpass us. And also, though, it could have been one of two things, right? Something Palpatine truly believed, but it wasn't inherently true. And second of all, it could have been like he was just trying to boast over Yoda that, hey, because he's with me now, he's going to become more powerful. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, honestly, with that.
I wish I had the
quote. Yeah, I can't find it anywhere. I think the key word is he would surpass us both, or surpass us. But
I think I found the quote here. He said, "You will not stop me." This is Palpatine talking. "You will not stop me. Darth Vader will become more powerful than either of us."
oh, so he did. Oh, okay. So he actually does say that. Okay.
But he doesn't say more powerful than
both of us
combined.
Yeah. Like individually, you'll be more powerful.
Right.
Yeah, and then this is part of my point for our main topic. But what does that mean? Powerful. That's a very broad, generalized word. What does powerful mean?
Exactly.
So that's a good segue into our main topic for today. So Willie, again, we want to say thank you for asking. I apologize if we misinterpreted your question. Again, if you feel like we've misinterpreted it, please let us know, and we'll try our best to re-hit it next week.
Yeah.
But
sorry.
I was just gonna say, without further ado, we thank everybody for,
Yeah, go ahead.
Guys, we are a mess today.
We are.
Honestly, we're just having fun. Yeah. No, but anyway, thanks guys so much for your questions. We really, really, really appreciate it. Every week, you always have something to ask, and we are very happy for that. Yes. It is so fun. It's so fun to answer your guys' questions and interact with you in that way. So keep doing it.
We love all the questions.
If you know of somebody that doesn't listen to us but has asked a question, and you could always be like, hey, we got some guys that we listen to, and even if they don't want to listen, you can ask us for them, and we will answer it, and you can show it to them.
Yeah. We just like the questions.
We love the questions. So without any further ado, we're going to get into our main topic for today, and that is Anakin versus Obi-Wan.
Yeah, so we made a poll on Instagram and Facebook and asked you guys who was more powerful, Obi-Wan or Anakin. Mm-hmm. And the results were actually fairly close.
Yeah.
We ended up being 57% Obi-Wan, 43% Anakin. So it's pretty close. Now, I will say this was our results on Instagram. I could not find anywhere to see the results on Facebook.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure if this is shared or not.
I think it should be.
I'm not real certain on that. So I'm sorry if there was different results. Last time I looked on Facebook, Obi-Wan was winning by a bunch on Facebook. And so I don't know. I'm not real sure if that carried over to this or not. But what we do have here is 57% Obi-Wan, 43% Anakin. I think either way, Obi-Wan was definitely the winner here.
Yeah. So let me say just first off, we're kind of getting short on time, so we may not get super in depth on this unless we want to. We can, but I'll just go ahead and say for myself, I was kind of surprised about the results, because as anybody knows me, my favorite character has been and always will be Obi-Wan. But this question is very subjective, and I think that's what we have to think about. Who is more powerful, right? The keyword powerful, Obi-Wan or Anakin. And like I said, I'm not speaking for anybody but myself at this moment, but are we talking about who is more force powerful, who is more physically powerful, who's more mentally sharp and knowledgeable powerful? Overall, I think overall is kind of the thing here that everyone is going with. So to break down my argument, like I said, it is difficult to really say who is more powerful because I think there's so many factors that plays in this. I will say I think Anakin is more force powerful. He has, it says all throughout the entire.
Who did you vote for in the?
I voted for Anakin.
You voted for Anakin.
I voted Anakin because the keyword powerful, I just immediately thought force powerful, like who can use the force more or who has more. I had to use the cursed word, but midichlorians. But I will just say with Anakin, we see all throughout the saga, mainly in the prequel trilogy, but we see that time after time he's considered the chosen one. He is he's considered one that has more midichlorians than any other being that they know of at that point. Also, when we get into Clone Wars, we go to Mortis, and he's able to conquer both the son and the daughter, and things that it's just crazy. So in terms of power of the Force, I think Anakin's more powerful. Now, I will say though, overall, I would choose Obi-Wan. In the context of the Force, Anakin, but in terms of overall Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan has better lightsaber skills, and this is just my opinion. I can't. That's kind of subjective. You can't really prove that. Obi-Wan does have more lightsaber skills. He has more fighting expertise in leading people and just fighting within himself. I think he's a better fighter. Obi-Wan definitely has more wisdom and knowledge, understanding, charisma, able to convince people of things. He's the negotiator, the negotiator,
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, again, the question is pretty subjective. On one front, I would say Anakin is more force powerful, but I would say Obi-Wan is more all around. If they got into a fight, as we kind of saw, if they got into a fight, I think Obi-Wan would win. And we kind of got that proven to us in episode 3. So what is your points on this, Drew?
Well, I came into this thinking we were going to think a little differently on this, but I guess we kind of don't. I think I'm on a similar page to you, but I voted for Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And my thoughts on it are, yes, Anakin is very, very powerful in the Force, right? We know this. We know he has very raw.
And that's what I say. He has more raw power.
Yeah. Like we know this because of the midichlorian cow, all this stuff, right? All these talks of different things, and we see his power, right? I mean, we see the crazy stuff he does throughout different various different things throughout Star Wars.
Some of the more recent Vader comics show insane things.
Yeah. So yes, he has a lot of power, but and just like you were saying, you do have to kind of consider the word power,
right?
And I actually looked up like definitions of power just to like kind of like just to think about it. And one that stood out to me was the capacity or ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of events.
Oh, I mean, if you use that definition, Obi-Wan by a long shot.
Yeah, and so I think with Obi-Wan, the reason I think that I would call Obi-Wan more powerful is Obi-Wan was not only very skilled in the Force. He may not have had the raw, super high midichlorian count of Anakin, all this stuff, but Obi-Wan was very skilled, very knowledgeable, and could keep control of himself.
Right.
Where Anakin, he couldn't. He lashed out on his emotions. He couldn't tame the power. Right.
Right.
And where Obi-Wan, we see time and time again that he was able to remain that Jedi, keep the distractions out, keep the emotions out, and because of that, he was able to use that power, that force that he had to, I think, a higher ability than Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And so I do believe that Obi-Wan Kenobi is the more powerful Jedi.
Yeah, and I guess another factor you got to think of is when you think of powerful, if something has power, I think is in your definition, not you, I'm just saying in general, is in your definition of power, is control a major factor? Because you can have, again, it's kind of like a cannonball, right? Mm-hmm. It's like a cannonball. It has a lot more power, raw power, than a 30-06 bullet, right? And you may not know, listeners may not know exactly those two measurements. So I'm using something really specific. I apologize. But the cannonball is it doesn't have control. Mm-hmm. It kind of goes where it points, and it just kind of, it goes in a straight line, but it doesn't have that precision.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You see where I'm going with
this?
I
see exactly where you're going, yeah.
I'm fumbling over myself here.
No, I know exactly what you mean. And that's, Obi-Wan, he understood how to be a Jedi. He was so knowledgeable in it. I think he was quite the intimidating foe. Yeah. And and it's Anakin. You have to look at the battle in Revenge of the Sith too, and it kind of shows a clear picture of that. Anakin, loses his wife, the love of his life, right, or whatever, and he goes off on this crazy killing spree at the temple. He gives up everything, becomes this monster of a person. And a lot of us look at him losing Padme and everything, and blame a lot of it on these different things that's happened to him, and he lost his mom and stuff, blah blah blah. Yeah, and that's what has made him where he is at that point. But then you have to also look at Obi-Wan Kenobi, who lost Qui-Gon, has been in this war lost the love of his life in
Mm-hmm.
the war. Also lost his belief, lost the people that he's chose to live for. He chose
Right.
to live the life of a Jedi,
Right.
and it's all gone. Everyone he's ever
Right.
been with is dead.
The ultimate betrayal. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Obi-Wan Kenobi lost everything.
yeah.
There
Yeah.
was nothing left for Obi-Wan Kenobi at all. And so really, they're kind of in the same position. And Obi-Wan chooses to, and in that battle, Obi-Wan still is precise. He's controlled.
Exactly.
He I'm sure was very emotional, but yet he was able to and he did everything he could not actually have to hurt Anakin.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it came to the point where he knew there was no other option.
Right.
And
Cut his legs off and let him catch on fire, you know?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to hurt him. What's up?
And so, Obi-Wan, it just shows what the two people going through similar circumstances and how they chose to react to it.
Right.
And so that's just another way that I think it shows the true power of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right.
And then we go, in the future and they face each other again. And again, I think even though I've always been bothered by the choice of Obi-Wan kind of sacrificing himself.
Yeah.
I've always would have loved to see something different.
Right.
But I don't believe that Obi-Wan did it because he didn't think he could defeat Vader in that moment. I know a lot of people would argue with me on that, but I don't think that's what it was. I think Obi-Wan knew that what Luke needed to do, and
Right.
that Luke was going to be the one that was going to be able to get through to Vader and be able to take out Palpatine, all that stuff.
Well, I think in that moment, Obi-Wan was able to calculate every scenario and calculate the costs and the outcomes of everything and formulated in that moment like the perfect solution,
Yeah, and who knows? He may have even had visions, and who knows what to know kind of what needed to be done. But he, again, in a selfless act, sacrificed himself for the greater good.
Yeah.
And so, and had this amazing ability to come back as a Force ghost and do those things. So Obi-Wan Kenobi is more powerful than Anakin Skywalker. I rest my case.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good argument. Like I said, overall, I definitely would choose Obi-Wan. I mean, again, it just depends on the context you use the word. Again, like I said, one of my final failed analogies before we close today. It's kind of like a warhammer versus a rapier, or like a little tiny fencing sword. That fencing sword can be super quick and it can kill you probably even more easily than a warhammer can, because a warhammer might miss. A warhammer might, it takes too much power to generate. There's more power, so to speak, in the warhammer. Yeah. But the sword could be more deadly.
I like that one. That's a
that's
good
a little
one.
more. It's a little easier to understand.
Yeah, that's a really good one, and most people will probably understand that. Yeah. And that's exactly the case here, and kind of what we're talking about. Anakin is that powerhouse. He's got the raw power there.
Yeah. But
it's untamed, and and I will say, the Darth Vader we get come like the Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back.
Oh yeah.
He's different.
He's definitely different. Yeah.
He's starting to tame that anger and
a little more calculated,
and it becomes a very terrifying
force of nature
because of it. And that's also something I think that now, if we were talking about Darth Vader in that moment versus Obi-Wan Kenobi, that starts to become a little more cloudy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he really knows what he's doing at that point. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day.
We're about 8 minutes over, so we're not going to get into that right now.
But yeah, I mean, I want to say thank you to everyone who voted on it. It was fun to do.
Fun.
It's fun to see that, and fun to talk about it together. And if you guys have more thoughts on it, feel free to comment on the episode or wherever you guys on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you can comment on there. Yeah. But yeah, we thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate all the support. We got some great things in store for you guys. We're gonna have the Clone Wars book review next week on the podcast. we are in talks right now and in the works to start a Let's Play
Yeah, boy.
on YouTube. I'm sure we'll post it on Facebook as well, but that's going to be, hopefully we're going to be doing some Star Wars Squadrons when it comes out.
Yeah, maybe some live streaming on that.
We are still kind of working all that out, working out the funds, all those things.
Right.
It's very expensive to do those types of things, so we got to get that into place. But we're really trying hard to get that out in time for the game release. And so that's going to be another fun way to communicate with you guys, have some fun. And we're also going to in the works with some giveaways.
Yeah, man.
Lots of things coming
stuff.
soon. So
Yeah.
stick with us. We so appreciate all the support. You can, always go like us on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter if you want. I mean, I don't know.
That's a lost
matters,
cause
but
at this point. So
you can even watch us on YouTube. Well, you can't actually watch us, but you can listen to us on YouTube.
yeah.
Our episodes are going up there consistently now.
Oh, good.
So, yeah,
Okay,
so,
let's learn about that.
Yeah, we're good there now. So check us out on there. We thank you for listening, and join us next week for episode 28. But until next time, may the Force be with you, and we thank you for joining the Jedi Eternal.